Hi boys and girls, it's time for science. Today, of course, you're going to need your toolkit and you're going to need your science notebook because we record everything we do the best we can. Now, I've already started my drawing today and I want you just to watch this whole process. Then after, if you want to go back and look at what I wrote a little closer or try it yourself, you can. But let's see how this works. So the title for my experiment today is Butter in a Jar. It's not really an experiment because we are going to make butter. And I thought maybe this would be good because sometimes it's nice if everybody contributes something to Thanksgiving meal. And maybe you could make the butter that would be on your table. Making butter is fun. So then we need our supplies. So first here I wrote the number 1 because you are going to need a jar. And that's my idea of a jar. And this jar used to have spaghetti sauce in it. And I washed it and it's ready to go. But you've got to make sure you also have the lid. You have to have a jar with a lid. That would be very strong. This one might be a little bit too big. If I were you, I would do a smaller one. But that's all I had. So the next thing you're going to need is cream. And here's the cream I have, heavy cream. Okay, so number 1 shows that the cream is going to go into the jar. So here's my jar. Now, to turn the cream into butter, we're going to be shaking it a lot. And the butter is going to change the form of it. So you don't want to put more than half. Okay, now my jar is kind of big. I don't think I'm going to fill it up halfway. A couple drops of water in there. Let's get that out because I just washed it. So I am pouring my cream in, and I think I'm only going to do that much. Okay, you could do half, but it would take a lot longer. So I'm going to try it this way. Now, a secret I didn't know is that it works better if you let your cream sit out. Mine was really pretty cold, so we'll see what happens. You put the lid on really good and you ask an adult maybe to help you with that. Now this part too, your family might want to get involved because now you start shaking. Shake and shake and shake and shake. Can you hear that? That's the liquid going back and forth. Now I'm watching the timer on my video. I'm going to shake it really good for at least a minute. Now let's think about butter. I have some here. See right here? If I shake that, is it going to make a sound like this one? No, it doesn't. How come? Remember, scientists ask questions. Well, that's because the butter on my dish is what we call a solid. It's not like water is a liquid and milk and juice. And the cream we put in here is a liquid as well. So I am shaking. Now, if I had somebody else that was here with me, I would pass this to the next person and say, go ahead, shake it a little bit and see what happens. Because it's still making a noise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it and I'm going to shake for a little longer. I will turn it on and show you what it looks like in a minute. Okay, well I've been shaking it for a couple of minutes and I just can't wait to peek. Now remember, it was all that really liquid stuff. And now it's starting to look a little bit more. See how it's very thick and gloppy? It's almost whipped cream. Now I'm going to taste it with this spoon and then I'll throw the spoon away. So I'm not throwing it away. I'm putting it in the sink to be washed. So now it's like cream. It's not, whipped cream. It's not sweet because we didn't add any sugar to it, but you could have. So we started with cream, and now because we've been shaking it so long, it's whipped cream. How cool is that? Well, let's put it on pause again so I can keep shaking for a while, and we'll see what happens next. Now this is strange. Can you hear it shaking anymore? Remember? You could hear that liquid. I don't think anything's moving in there anymore. So let's take another peek. Uh-oh. It certainly is not moving. It's gotten very thick. Very thick. This is actually more like the whipped cream. Again, it's not very sweet. So I really have reached whipped cream now. Was that what I wanted? No, I want butter. So we're going to keep shaking. You ready? Okay. Well, I've been shaking and shaking and shaking and shaking and shaking. And I wish somebody was here who could help me. I hope at your house you have somebody who can help you. But when I look, you can kind of see through parts of the jar. It doesn't look like it's all liquidy and floating around anymore. So let's open it and see what it looks like. I'm going to get my spoon. It's not liquidy anymore. It's starting to taste a little more like butter. Now, I think I'm going to shake it a little bit longer. Ugh, I'd like to give up, but I'm not going to. Be right back. Okay, I think I'm done. Do you see how there is something in there? It's not liquid anymore. It's when I move it, it all moves together. Oops. So it's really getting close. Let's look. It's really getting close. Oh, you know what? I was going to say let's stop, but I'm starting to think if I just shake a little bit longer, it might happen. Can you hear it now? It doesn't sound swishy, swishy like that. It's starting. Oh, it's happening. If you can see that, some of it is liquid, but there's a solid in there that is forming. Now, what's in here is two different things. The solid is the butter. The liquid is the buttermilk. So, I'm going to get a little container. I don't have a real good clear bowl, but we're going to use this. Let me tip it. So there's my bowl. And this I'm going to open. Can you see? It's very liquid. And I'm going to pour the liquid in there. Now, what that is it's buttermilk. And see what is in here? Let me get another spoon. Ha ha ha. Now look at that. Tip this up. Sorry guys. Let's look at that. Now that looks like real butter. So this big glob here, oh yes, that's my butter. This is buttermilk. Now you might want to taste it, see what you think. You might want to let somebody cook with it. Cooking with buttermilk is a good thing too. So the key here is to get all that buttermilk out. And sometimes what's a good idea is to kind of squish the butter, and then pour some more of the buttermilk off and squish it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the butter that I made with all the buttermilk gone into a container to keep it. Sometimes, I don't have too much, so I'm going to use this little container. They say that you should add salt. Some of the butter you buy at the store is salted butter, so that might taste better to you. Oh, there's my spoon. That's what I was looking for. Let's see, I'm going to take it out now, just like butter, and I'm putting it right here. And I'm going to eat that later. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, see if I can get it cold. And then this buttermilk too, still a little bit more. Got quite a bit of buttermilk there. I'm going to put that in the fridge in case later I'm baking. I can use it for that too. And you could taste it, won't hurt you. There's a lot of, this is where all the fat in the cream has gone in here. So, boys and girls, I hope you liked that. Can't wait to hear what you think. And then in your notebook, I am going to draw my butter and my buttermilk, because that's what happened. The cream goes in the jar. Number 2 is we shake. And 3, I'm going to write shake, 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 because it took a lot of shaking. And 3, I'm going to put butter and buttermilk. Enjoy science. Stay curious.